Good morning. It's Wednesday, September 21st, and welcome to this edition of Up to the Minute. I'm Sade Campbell, the Enrollment Communications Specialist here at Houston Community College, and I am joined by my co-host, Parrish Murphy, who is going to kick things off and tell everyone how to find us on social media.
How are you, Sade?
I'm doing well. How are you, Parrish?
I'm doing well.
It's been a while since we've been on together.
It's been a little bit. It's been a little bit. You know, they've had me. Our producers had me on hiatus. So, but it's always good to be back. It's always wonderful to do the show with you guys. Well, we're live. We're live on Houston Community College District Facebook page. We're also on Twitter, LinkedIn, Instagram, and we're on HCCTV at noon, 5, and 10 p.m. Monday through Friday.
All right. Thank you, Parrish. Well, it's that time of year as we begin to approach October for transfer fairs, as HCC gets ready to host more than 60 universities and students. 60 universities, so our students can speak directly to them. We'll have on Zachary Schroeder, who's HCC's Instructional Quality Specialist, to talk about that. Good morning, Zachary.
Good morning. Thank you for having me.
Thank you so much for joining us. Parrish will be back with you shortly. First, we'll be visiting with our HCC Police Chief for an update on his department about a number of topics. Welcome back to the show, Chief Benford.
Thank you. Good morning, everybody. Thank you for having me.
Good morning. Well, we've been talking with we've had the opportunity to talk to some new members of your team, but let's kick off with you sharing more about new additions to your team.
So in our ever-growing efforts to serve our community as best we can, we're always looking to grow our team. We just added a new command staff member. Her name is Artina Walker. She's a new captain. She'll be handling the special services side of the department. She's a great asset. She comes to us with over 25 years of police experience, and I would love to have her on the show one day just to kind of formally introduce herself and just let the community know who she is. We've also, in addition, we've also hired some additional officers. So again, we're always looking to expand our footprint in the college and create more visibility and create a safe environment for our students.
So you're expanding your staff, and that's allowing you to create more visibility on our campuses?
Absolutely. By having filling all of our vacant positions, it's putting us in a position to create more programs centered around crime prevention, centered around community service, as well as increased patrols, both vehicle and foot patrols.
Great to hear. And I would assume that with new staff, you are in active onboarding mode, and you're increasing some of your training initiatives as well.
Absolutely. So we're looking to totally revamp our training division. Right now, we're focusing on, of course, the hot topic of the day is active shooter training. So we're focusing a lot on active shooter training, making sure all of our guys are both alert trained, trained on active shooter response, and dealing with any type of threat that may approach the college. So we're focused on a lot of internal training as well as bringing in external instructors to give our guys as much training and as many resources they can possibly have to keep our community.
Awesome. And, one thing I've worked in a lot of different fields, and one allowed me to work with someone who does train with police forces. And one thing that people don't realize is shooting is a losable skill set. Mm-hmm. And so I would assume that even with all of that, training is just something that's ongoing that has to happen with police departments. You always hear when things happen, like, we need more training. We need more training. When we hear that as someone who's outside out on the outside looking in, you talked about active shooter training, but can you go a little deeper about what does that really mean to stay up on training?
So it's like any other skill set, it is perishable. So we try and do a really good job of having designated training days for all of our officers where they can come in and receive training in various areas. Right now, again, we're focusing on active shooter situations. You mentioned firearms training as perishable skill, and we focus a lot of our time and resources at the gun range to ensure that our officers are accurate with their weapons, and in the event that we need to respond to an emergency, they're able to do that effectively. So again, we're constantly writing curriculums to challenge our officers, put them in a position to be successful in the event of an emergency. So that's something we're constantly looking at, constantly turning over, so that we're never caught off guard.
Awesome to hear. And on a lighter note, you've been about what you said you were about. Let me just say that in my urban vernacular, about community policing, and I've been loving to see it. So for those who may not have caught previous episode, how are you implementing community policing, and what does that mean?
So that really means getting out and connecting with our community. And we do that through we created a new program, and I think she was a guest on the show last month, our new community service liaison, that's Officer Carter. And her primary responsibility is to go out and meet with community members, provide training to our community, to go out and build relationships with other police departments. And one of the projects that we're working on now is our National Night Out project, which is going to take place on October 4th. So we're going to be hosting National Night Out here at the Central Campus. It'll be located at the police department. We're going to have all kinds of vendors and refreshments and exhibits. And we really welcome our students, our staff, our faculty, our community to come out and just fellowship with us. That's an opportunity that we can all get together and really kind of get to know each other better, build better relationships between the police and the community.
Yeah, it was a pleasure to have Officer Carter on. This is her main priority right now. She's very clear about this is her baby. She wants to see this be great. In addition to you, and I was actually visiting our makerspace for another project at the West Houston Institute, and they shared that the officers were going in and leveraging the makerspace to make some things for the community event, National Night Out. What you want to give a preview? What are y'all making?
So we got together the team. We have some very talented team members here, and I'm going to give a shout out to Officer Tobar, who is a whiz at graphic design. So he's designed some T-shirts that we'll be passing out to our community on that night, and it will represent the National Night Out program, as well as the college and the police department. So again, make sure everyone comes out. And I want to give a shout out to all of our HCC partners who supported us, all of our presidents, CEOs, campus managers who have contributed to make this a successful program. And again, our goal, although we are focusing, having our very first annual National Night Out here at the Central Campus, every year we will move it to a different location and touch a different part of our community. Because as you know, we're spread out pretty far, throughout Harris and Fort Bend County. So again, Officer Carter's done a great job. Yes, I have put a lot of pressure on her, but she has really shined throughout this whole process. So we're looking forward to a great event.
Awesome. And we have a little bit more time. What else do you all have planned for the semester? I know you're partnering a lot with Student Life for your active shooter training to get students exposed to be prepared in the unfortunate event that happens. But what else do you all have planned for students that they can expect?
So we will be continuing to set up our crime prevention tables every month at the various campuses. And as we get close to the different holidays, like for Halloween is coming up, we plan to do an event at one of our campuses to promote safety during the Halloween season, and of course give out goodies, all kind of candy and all kind of bad treats. We'll also be preparing for our Thanksgiving drive. Every year for Thanksgiving and Christmas, we prepare gift baskets for needy families, both in and outside of the college. So we'll be promoting that as the time gets closer. So our main focus again is to be a resource to our community and make ourselves as available as we possibly can. And I don't ever want it to be a situation where one of our students or staff or faculty don't feel like they can count on the police department. And if it's a question, if it's an emergency, if they just want to say hello or have a conversation, we'll also be hosting some Coffee with Cops programs throughout, going into the end of the school year. So there are a lot of things we want to do to continue to build those bridges.
Love to hear it. And it's been a pleasure having you on the show and getting a good understanding of what you all have coming up. I think it's always great to just kind of end with a reminder of what's the number to reach the police. HCCTV.
If you need any assistance, please call 713-718-8888. That's our 24-hour line. You can reach someone 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.
Thank you so much, Chief Benford. We'll have information posted after the show about their National Night Out event and how to reach them about upcoming events that he shared on the show. I'm going to kick it over to my co-host, Parrish, with our next guest.
All right.
Thanks,
Thank
Chief.
you.
Always good talking with the chief. It's always good to have the police officers, mess up your dental plan and also, keep your sugar high. It's always wonderful during Halloween.
For those that missed it, he's talking about the Halloween event.
Thanks, Chief.
Have a great
my
day.
Goodness. Well, thanks, guys. We are here with Zachary Schroeder, and Zachary is an HCC Instructional Quality Specialist. Welcome back, Zach. How you doing, man?
I'm doing very well. Thanks for having me back.
Great. It's a pleasure meeting you. I didn't interview the first time that you were here, but can you tell me something? What does an instructional quality specialist do?
We wear a lot of hats in our department, and one of the major areas that we oversee is the transfer center for the system. So that is where I get involved with our articulation agreements with our university partners, and that transcends off to the transfer fairs as well. We also do a lot of assisting with advising as well. We do a lot of troubleshooting and problem solving throughout the week. So there's usually about 100 or so staff members throughout the system that I interact with throughout the week as far as assisting, and that transcends to help with transfer as well. So that's one of the big elements that we also oversee is having students find those pathways when they're complete with their degree program over here at HCC. We want to make sure they have a great next step to the university.
Right. Now, these fall transfer fairs begin next month, and you say it's probably going to be the largest ever?
It will. This is one of our big selling points this year, is at least the largest since I've been here. I've been at HCC since 2015. We're going to have 9 campus locations around the system this year. So for the 2-week transfer fair, that mirrors what we call the TACRO schedule, which is a big recruiting schedule that all universities participate within the state. We're going to have 9 HCC campuses that are going to be hosting fairs. And most of those fairs are going to be on single days. So this will give students a chance to kind of move around and see. This also helps the university recruiters when they're planning to make sure that they are at every single one of our locations. That's why we usually schedule a fair each individual day throughout the 2-week period. But the big selling point this year for the students is basically you're going to have a fair in your backyard at 9 different campus locations. So really good opportunity for all the students around the system.
That's great. Now, one of the new campuses that everyone is really excited about is the Katy campus. Tell me a little bit. They're finally opening.
Yes, they're finally open. I know the staff was very excited to get out there. It's a beautiful campus. I'm actually looking forward to going out there during the fair location at the Katy campus to see what it's all about. I believe they've only been open maybe 2 months at this point, so we were real excited to be able to get them on board and have them host one of the fair locations. And really wasn't too much of an issue this time around. When I sent out that initial schedule and was looking for participants and volunteers to help out with the fair, just about all hands went up, including those at Katy, to make sure that they wanted to be a host. So everybody's really excited to get back on campus and get these fairs going once again and really getting that personal one-on-one interaction for the students.
That's great. Now, what about Coleman?
Coleman is back. We unfortunately over the spring, a lot of the trials and tribulations that we had to go through the last 2 years with shifting to a virtual format and then attempting to do it on campus and then having to shift that to a virtual format. They got a lot of stuff going on at Coleman over there, especially a lot of their programs with deadlines. So they weren't able to join us in the spring, but they are going to be here in the fall. So we're glad and extremely excited to have the Coleman campus back on the lineup in the schedule. That's where all the health science programs is. So all the partner universities that we have with health science majors, that's kind of their main point right there, is where students want to check on the various nursing programs, various other health science programs, bachelor's degrees that we have with our university partners. They're going to be on the Coleman campus, and students will have that ability to go down there and meet with them face to face as well.
You know, the world has been virtual for so long. How does it feel to be back in person?
I think it's great. I think it's something that we had I'm not the most tech savvy individual when it comes to shifting things on the virtual setting. So there are a lot of pitfalls we did, a lot of things we did right. I think one of it enabled us to still be able to offer these fairs, but in my opinion, it doesn't really hold up to the in-person. The ability for the students to kind of have that personal one-on-one touch with the university representatives, whether they're have downtime between class or during their lunch hour. They can basically just head on over to pretty much any large campus that's next to their home location, and they can head to a table and basically discuss one-on-one what their options are as far as the university representative. Let them know what their major is here when they're completing, and then that representative can kind of get them set up as far as what would be the best transfer pathway for them to continue their education. And that's one of the main things we strive for in the transfer offices. We want to have those students continue that pathway. And we want to see that they are still on good standing. They're still going to have success once they leave HCC. And we want to make sure they find the institution that's the best for them going forward when they continue on with their bachelor's degree and even master's programs later on. So that's our main thing is we want to make sure that handoff is as quality as it can be, and that the student's going to have the utmost success when they leave HCC.
I think the personalization of being in the classroom helps too. Just being in a classroom environment just makes it so much more conducive to learning, whereas Zoom, you can get distracted very easy with Zoom. Now, I got another question for you. How many universities are actually involved in all this?
Well, we have, across the system, we have over 65 partner universities throughout the state of Texas, the U.S. We even have a couple that are abroad, so we're pretty proud of that as well. We actually have a partnership in Mexico and a university in France as well. So we're pretty proud of the kind of reach that we have as far as with our university partners. So, and usually with these fairs, you're going to see anywhere from 30 to 40 of those partners are going to be attending each fair. So the students are going to have a huge opportunity to go around and meet with just a multitude of our partners to try to find out, exactly what would be the best choice for them as far as going forward and for transfer as well. So any of those campus locations, you're going to see 30 to 40, some of them in the past, and we're hopeful again this year, had as many as 50 participating universities. So that's going to be great for students to kind of just walk in and just have the red carpet kind of laid out towards them as far as their ability to go ahead and find the right place to transfer.
That's outstanding. Now, what can the students expect attending this transfer?
It's pretty free-flowing. There isn't too much as far as rigid structure goes. The students, and that's why we want to make it like that. We want to keep it, personal, to where the students can, conversational with those representatives. The individuals who participate, who set up the as far as the logistics and just the whole setup in itself at the individual campuses have been wonderful. And what they do is they basically do all the behind the scenes legwork as far as getting everybody there, getting the tables set up, making sure everybody is there to present with their information, and also taking care of them as far as snacks and lunch as well. So the students basically, they can just have at it when they're passing through. So nothing too rigid as far as when the students don't have to sign up for a specific time. They just know every single fair location takes place from 10 o'clock in the morning to 1 o'clock in the afternoon. So they basically have a 3-hour window where if you're on campus during that time, you can have a quick 5, 10, 15-minute conversation with just about any university that we partner with. So we leave it free-flowing and conversational just because, in my opinion, just that's the way the campuses operate. You want to be able to just be able to come up to somebody and just have a nice discussion with them.
Sounds good. Sounds really good. That's a wonderful thing too, that the students can actually transition into doing, some other things. It's we're recession proof. I say it all the time. I'm going to make that our logo that we're recession proof. Thank you so much. His name is Zachary Schroeder. He is an HCC instructional quality specialist We'll have more information on all of those things in our post after the show. Thanks again for coming. Come back again, Zach.
Oh, I definitely will be here again. Thank you for having me. Anytime you want me to come on and talk about the transfer, or like I said, we do a multitude of things as well. Just let me know, and I'll be here.
Absolutely. Thanks again.
All right.
Well, Ms. Charday.
Yes, Mr. Parrish.
We have some announcements.
We do. Well, you want to kick it off?
Why not? Swift programming classes. If you are looking to create your own apps, well, you can sign up today to learn iOS computer programming. MacBooks are available for loan for the course, and students can earn college credits toward a certificate as a mobile app developer. It happens September the 21st to December the 11th. You can check our post. You can check our link in the show after. You can check our post in our show after.
There we go. And Student Life is celebrating Hispanic Heritage Month. For those who don't realize, it is from September 15th to October 15th. And there will be a lot of in-person events. They have already kicked things off, and they're going to be having reggaeton classes. They're going to be having salsa classes. They're going to be having different types of fun events where you can come and learn more about Hispanic and Latino culture. And also this week, we're celebrating Spirit Week here at HCC. So look out for the food, the giveaways, and the celebration happening across campuses. And lastly, Student Life will also, yesterday, for those who don't know, was National Voter Registration Day. So when you're going on those campuses and you see those pop-ups, or you can check your voter registration or get registered to vote, the deadline to register to vote in our November elections is coming up soon. So stop by that table, and also look into one of the events, Your Voice, Your Rights, where students can learn how to take action in their community with Move Texas, which is centered around voter registration and civic responsibility. I know I gave you a lot of events, a lot of topics, but all the information and links will be posted after the show.
I just want you to know, if you go to the reggaeton and the dance classes, that the HCC insurance does not cover dropping it like it's hot. I just want you to understand that. I just want you to understand that, okay? If you deal with anxiety in certain times, we have something for you. HCC's Counseling and Ability Service will conduct an online training program called Dealing with Anxiety in Uncertain Times. It's hosted by Kevin Fuller. It happens 11 a.m. to noon, Tuesday, October the 4th. It's going to be online via WebEx, and we'll have more information in our post after the show to register.
You know what, Parrish? I got to be ready for your ad libs. I was not ready for that.
You got to, hey, stay ready, so you ain't got to get ready.
Yes, so we're moving on. We are having our film actor workshop with HCC's Michelle Robertson. This is a acting course that is for HCC students and adults of all ages at a low cost of $99 that spans over the course of weeks. It's designed to develop a proficiency in beginning film acting techniques with an emphasis on content, organizational skills, time management skills, and the delivery of scenes, monologues, and assignments. There will be 4 consecutive Thursdays from 5 to 10 p.m., October 6th through the 27th at A-Leaf Hayes campus. Information will be posted after the show. And I don't know. I think, Parrish, did you have a prior career in acting? Did you act enough today?
No, yes, I went to Catholic school. No, that's the bulk of my acting career is Catholic school.
That's it. HCC's up to the minute. That's as close as we're gonna get.
You know, I did KTSU for quite some time when I got out of college, and hey, I don't know. I'm gonna do film. I'll do some film stuff. That's what I'm working on right now. So you'll see some stuff. The acting, that's really great. I'm really glad that they're doing that, and it's very informative too. We got some more stuff. Also, Friday math jams are back. The Friday math jam session, which are free study sessions hosted by a full-time math department faculty member, are live virtual tutoring sessions where students can do multiple things. They can ask questions, get homework help. They can also improve study skills. They can study for exams. They can keep on track. And also they can catch up if they're behind. All current HCC math students are welcome. There is no need to register. Just click on the link and join. We'll have that link in our post after the show.
You know, I love that the tutoring department has additional. I don't think people expect events from the tutoring department. They just expect tutoring. So these group sessions and math is something that a lot of people have anxiety around, and that some just may struggle with, especially if you're coming back to school after having not been in school for
it's a transition. If you hadn't done school, you know, and getting back into school, that's a transition. It's tough. And speaking of school, even shorter fall classes are still available. Second Start has begun, but students can still register for even more intensive sessions beginning in October and even in November. So it's worth checking HCC's schedules because, you know, they offer the same course options: online anytime, online on a schedule, hybrid in person, as well as hybrid lab. For registration on all HCC programs, go to hccs.edu/apply. That's hccs.edu/apply.
All right. Thank you, Parrish. Well, we appreciate you joining us for this edition of Up to the Minute as a preview of what yes. And as a preview of what to expect coming up this week on the heels of HCC's Employee Significance Ceremony, we're happy to welcome history professor Dr. John Moretta, who has been with HCC for over 40 years and has authored, I know. I mean, I'm not going to tell my age, but just know that's longer than I've been alive.
You're not going to tell your age. You went the Last Supper. Is that what you're saying? Is that what you're saying? You're not going to tell your age?
And I think what's funny is I actually talked to my brother today. He taught at University of Houston, and we were talking about his class. I didn't even know I was going to see it on here today. So congratulations to Dr. John Moretta. He'll be on the show discussing his new book, The Hippies. And we'll also have our Family Fun Day, which is every Thursday, where we'll talk to the folks at Art Reach Houston. Again, thank you for joining us, and we'll see you next time on Up to the Minute.
Sometimes what you need just shows up. Houston Community College has your back, whether you're knocking out some basics or upping your game for a better job. Enroll today for spring classes and frame your future with HCC.
If you need to do something to feel okay to drive, you're not okay to drive. Don't drive buzzed.
Look. 911, where's your emergency?
Everyone's on their way. What happened?
Your friend's not breathing.